From Ashes, Chapter 28, 7 years earlier. We'd turned in the initial fostering paperwork a week before Gabby tore into our lives. She wasn't Gabby then. No name, no identity, no strings. That's how it worked with surrenders. A woman could drop off a baby and walk out. We didn't ask questions, take ID, nothing. A final desperate moment for a desperate woman. It was a fantastic program. In my entire career, we'd gotten 7 surrenders. Each time, the baby was adopted within 6 months and often fostered by the same family before that. A relatively short period of time because it needed no negotiation, no mother who could change her mind. It had already been made up. No family that would interfere, no deciding whether something would be an open or closed adoption, and no worrying about what an open adoption would mean. A physical at the hospital, plenty of paperwork at the adoption agency, 6 months to make sure no family members stepped forward, and then done. As the firefighter who took her in, I had an additional edge. Not any big power, just like a little foot in the door. Emergency workers who help with the surrender get priority, much like a family member would in the adoption process. With most of the paperwork already done, things went fast. Serendipity, that's what Rachel called it. We were a golden couple just sitting right there. They approved us shortly after the surrender. Jessie didn't even roll her eyes when I told her. I could tell she wanted to, could see the look on her face that she got when we went back to repeat patients, old ladies who had fallen going to the bathroom or accidentally clicked their life alert buttons. A look that wanted to warn or lecture, but didn't. Kate was not much better. Aren't you worried, Aiden? This is a troubled child from a very troubled mother. There will be health problems, maybe emotional issues, possibly even some severe disabilities. But I saw the bright green eyes in my mind, so wide and clear. She'd come to us with that bruise, but the baby didn't seem to have been abused. They'd checked her brain at the hospital, done a thorough physical. Even her weight was good. She cried a lot and loudly, but so, my mother told me on a rare Sunday phone call, had I. Even so, their doubts needled at me. On that last day, that final drive to the agency, I turned to Rachel. You're not doing this just for me, are you? What are you talking about, Aiden? This baby, would you prefer another? Keep looking, wait a bit. You're not getting cold feet, are you, babe? She'd asked. No, I'd said, my voice thick as I stared at the black road, trying to concentrate. I fell in love with her that first moment. But that's the problem. I didn't push you to her, did I? Drag you along? Oh, Aiden, she said. You couldn't drag me along if you tried. I blinked, tried to keep the lines on the road from blurring. Of course I couldn't. My strong, willful wife. I'm in love with her too, she said. And you. Ours. Gabby did have some problems. Intense colic followed by a couple years of broken bones. In her first 2 years, she broke her wrist twice, her foot once, and for several long months of recovery, a femur. I was worried they'd think we were abusing her, take her away. But the doctor's bone scan revealed that her bones were more fragile than most. What could cause it, I'd asked. Probably poor nutrition, both prenatally and postpartum. A little neglect after she was born, too much time in a car seat, things like that. It's not uncommon with babies who are adopted out of stressful situations. But you got her young. A few adjustments to her diet, and she should be fine. I hope her teeth are okay, Rachel said. Oh, a broken tooth isn't so bad, I said, flashing my own pearly whites. Look what it gave me. She leaned over Gabby's still bald head, kissed me right in front of the doctor. Yeah, she's going to be just fine, the doctor had said, laughing. We put Gabby on a well-rounded diet with supplements of protein and calcium. Rachel spearheaded it, and I continued it after she was gone. Even after her new, healthier diet, Gabby had still cried a lot, could sink into a mood with the slightest sharp word. I had bowed to this poutiness. Rachel had not. You've got to hold firm, Aiden. Otherwise, she'll learn she can manipulate us. I wanted to reply that she could manipulate us, me anyway. Those eyes. But Rachel was looking a little glum herself lately, and I didn't push it. Everything okay? I'd asked. I'm just feeling a little under the weather, she'd replied. That's what you said last time, I said. She paused. Yeah, maybe I need an adjustment, more exercise or better food or something. Maybe Gabby and I both need some type of power diet. She'd scheduled a doctor's appointment after that, planning to get a referral to a nutritionist. Rachel wasn't one to wait around for the stars to line up. She was a doer, a mover. Her doctor did a basic checkup, some routine blood work, and the rest, as they say, is history. He found lumps, some indicators in her blood, all the bad things that Rachel kept to herself, waiting to hear that it was no big deal. A little surgery, maybe a stint of chemo. Bad news, but not the worst. She hadn't expected a body shot through with cancerous bullet holes. She hadn't expected the life we'd finally gotten to get cut short. She hadn't expected to have to tell me. The strange thing is that Gabby's moods got better after Rachel's diagnosis. She was learning to talk really well, and that must have helped. But there was something else, something about helping her mother. Gabby would pat Rachel's back every time Rachel hovered over the toilet to throw up. Just stand there, that little hand rubbing Rachel as she heaved. I'd never seen anything like it. Gabby started humming, just like Rachel had, and we played music more. They would both sing along, one dying, one with a second chance at life. I listened and danced Gabby around, holding Rachel's hand as she swayed along, until she sat on the couch, until she lay on the hospital bed in the living room, her humming growing wobbly, just as Gabby learned to twirl.